Now here's my big tip. Today we're making hot dog burnt ends. You've probably seen this recipe floating around for a while and wondering, is this even worth it? Abso-freaking-lutely. This is a really simple recipe. I've got a few tricks up my sleeve for this one. Go watch it. I'm gonna snack on these. All right, it starts with hot dogs. Make sure that you get the kind that are skinless. Nathan's is usually one of my top choices. All right, let's go ahead and cut these open. For this step, I like to get all of the dogs on a piece of foil because we're gonna be lathering them with mustard and I don't want that all over my cutting board. All right, so I've got these laid out here. Now, one thing that's gonna make these hot dog burnt ends different from a lot of other recipes is I'm gonna score them. So you can keep this simple. You don't have to use a giant knife like I am. Paring knife works just fine, but you'll just wanna cross-hatch them. And you're not cutting super deep, just enough to kind of force them to open up as they smoke. Rotate this. Now go ahead and flip them on the back side. We're gonna do the same thing. Don't worry, this is pretty much the most amount of prep that you're gonna have to do for this entire cook. All right, so I wanna add some seasoning, but we're gonna need a binder. So yellow mustard's pretty standard, and it's nice because this doesn't add like too much flavor to where it's gonna totally change everything that we're going on here. You can definitely use some hot sauce too, but I find that yellow mustard really works the best just to create a nice tacky surface all over the hot dogs. Sorry guys, I'm so immature. I'm glad I wasn't in college when I was filming this. So I want to add seasoning to the hot dogs. Now I'm going to be adding barbecue sauce and brown sugar later, so for my own taste, I'm gonna do something that's sugar-free. I'm gonna use my Canyon Crust rub, which is a lot of coarse black pepper. It does have some salt, so just be aware that if you're gonna use any kind of rub, you know, you're adding more sodium to this. So I don't think anybody that's making hot dog burnt ends is really thinking about health, but just figured that I'd point that out. So roll these over and then season the backside, and then what we're gonna do is get these onto a wire rack, which is gonna make them really easy to transfer on and off the smoker. Okay, so I got my wire rack out, and now I'm just gonna put the hot dogs on here and then spread them out a little bit so that they get smoke on all sides. So I've got the smoker preheated at 225. It's gonna give nice enough smoke color on those hot dogs. All the cracks will open up too. And after about an hour, we'll take them off and go on to the next step. In the meantime, I gotta go wash my mustardy hands. All right, we're ready. I'm going to carefully lift the wire rack and just drop it in here. There we go. And now just set the timer for an hour. All right, guys, we are about 45 minutes in, and I just wanted to show you the color on these dogs. They look amazing. I'm gonna let them go for about another 20 minutes or so, and then I'll be back. All right, folks, it's been just over an hour, and these are looking mighty fine. Oh man, those look so good. I could probably just eat them right now. But we can't. We're gonna make burnt ends, so come on. All right, so we have smoked hot dogs, and let's go ahead and get these cut up. I'm just gonna set them on the cutting board here. Depending on how large you want your hot dog burnt ends to be, pretend that was in air quotes, you want to cut these in pieces. So I like to cut them into thirds, sometimes fourths if they're like longer hot dogs, I'll show you. And you kind of just judge based on that. All right, so I'm going to cut these right here into the thirds. There we go. And you can see that these are some pretty good size pieces. I mean, they're still large, but they're not so small. So if you wanted them smaller, you know, just cut them how you want them. Okay, I'm going to get these all into this foil pan, and then we're going to finish them off. Okay, so we've got the hot dogs in the pan. Now, to make them burnt ends, we're going to add a little bit of butter. This is 4 tablespoons. I don't know why I cut this into 5 pieces, but whatever. There we go. Okay, next we're going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I'm going to sprinkle this all over. Now the goal here is what we're going to do is we're going to cook this for a few minutes on the smoker, and then stir it up because everything's going to kind of melt together. Okay, and then last you're going to add a half cup of barbecue sauce. So use what you like. Today I'm going to be using the honey fire barbecue sauce. I really like this flavor. It's not too thick. There's no ketchup in it, so it's going to have a really unique flavor overall. And I'm just going to eyeball about a half cup. And if I need more, I'll add a little bit more, but that's probably pretty good. All right, so I'm going to take this foil pan and leave it open. I'm going to put it back on the smoker at 350 because we want to caramelize and thicken all the sauce for these burnt ends. So let's get them on. All right, the smoker's hot. Like I said, this is at 350. We're just going to set the pan in here about 15 minutes or so. I'll come back. All right, it's been about 15 minutes. Ooh, those are looking nice. You can see that everything's melting and kind of coming together. I'm just going to briefly stir these. I don't want to upset all the nice seasonings that we have on there. I just want to make sure that they get a little coated. You could see that this could go another 20 minutes or so just to kind of get a little bit more tacky and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and let these hang out and we'll be back. All right, folks, let's see what we got here. Ooh, those are looking good. Those are nice and much darker. Sauce is a lot thicker too, so I say let's pull them in and get some toothpicks. All right, they're cooled off a little bit, so check those out. Man, that color is just like absolutely epic. Totally worth it. Nothing like bite-sized hot dogs for a party. You can see they're nice and smoky. It's got that great texture that we scored in there. Obviously, it's all saucy and tacky. Perfect. All right, I decided to put everything in a plate so it looks a little bit more presentable. That greasy foil pan is probably not the best way to serve, but look at these. These look amazing. Double smoked hot dogs and barbecue sauce. By the time I'm done, I'm not gonna know how many hot dogs I've ate. Obvious time to make these would be for a party. If you're gonna do like a barbecutery board or something like that, that would go great. Some pickled mustard seeds, I would say would probably be like the only thing I add here because it's a lot of rich flavors with the sweet, the heat, the smoke. Just needs a little bit of acid. Well, go try them. I hope you guys like this recipe. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We'll see you guys next time. Cheers.